who will be the starting quarterback for our Las Vegas Raiders this season? Aidan O'Connell or Gardner Minshew? That's the question that's going to be asked up until after the Cowboys game this weekend, because news came out that AP is going to decide on who the starting quarterback will be going into the season after this week's matchup against the Dallas Cowgirls here in Las Vegas. Now, this is a bit surprising to me because I thought we were just going to go into the season with Aidan O'Connell as the starting quarterback, but it looks like AP is going to just wait and see who the better quarterback is going to be going into the season. Now, as we all know, this past offseason was, I believe, one of the most important offseasons for the Raiders after getting AP as their head coach going into this new season. I thought that the number one thing for the Raiders was to go out there and get a starting quarterback, a franchise guy in the draft or even in free agency. But as you guys already know, we technically didn't do any of that. In the offseason, yes, we went out and got Gardner Minshew. And at the time, I was excited about that. And I didn't think that he was going to be vying for a QB1 position because I thought we were going to go get our franchise guy in the draft. But it looks like the Raiders didn't even get anybody in the NFL draft, which, you know what? I understand, because a lot of the guys that got picked up all got picked up in the top 10 picks. And the Raiders didn't really have a choice other than getting Brock Bowers, which at the time was kind of questionable. But you know what? It's starting to grow on me having a guy like Brock Bowers on this offense. But as far as the quarterback position, all through training camp, it's been between Aidan O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. And for me, I thought that, we were just going to go with Aidan O'Connell as the starting quarterback moving forward because, he learned a lot from last year going into this year. And AP trusted him a lot last year to start for the last 10 games of that season, going 5-5.
What Aidan did the last 4 games and what he's done this offseason. Changing his body, his work ethic, being here every day, blocking out the outside noise, not worried about anything. I'm excited. And then you bring Gardner in here and then listen, you talk about personality. I know you guys interviewed him. It's great. And if you got competition in the quarterback room, what does every other room look at? Looking at those two guys. Aidan is already kind of taking the bull by the horn, and he's leading the way, and Minshew's right there doing as well. I'm really excited to see what happens. But as I said before, Aidan's earned the right to go out there and get the first snap.
Now, the big question is, what changed from the beginning of training camp to now? AP came out and said, we've got to get ready to play football, and I think we've got enough film. We'll have 2 games here, and by then, to evaluate both quarterbacks to see how they'll play. Minshew did come over here on a 2-year deal worth $25 million, $15 million guaranteed, and that's a lot of money. I do got to give it up to AP for, handling the situation, with all the questions going around through training camp, during the offseason. He's been holding his cards close to himself. Even when the depth chart, the official depth chart came out, the unofficial depth chart came out, they didn't really put a QB1 and 2. They had Aidan O'Connell and Gardner Minshew as a starting quarterback. So I guess that does show that, AP is trying to look out for what's best for the team and who's going to be the best guy moving forward. And even after the very first game last week against the Minnesota Vikings, we got to see a little bit of Aidan O'Connell, only one drive, which kind of surprising to me if we didn't really solidify who our starting quarterback was going to be. He went out there. We talked about this already in the last video. Aidan O'Connell had a solid drive, I think an 80-plus yard drive, which ended in a sack, which he shouldn't have never took it, but, I'm not going to really get on him too much about that. It ended in a field goal. Now, Gardner Minshew, I believe, was a step above Aidan O'Connell, but I'm not going to put too much on Aidan O'Connell because he did have only one drive. But what we've seen from Gardner Minshew, got a lot of Raider Nation excited. A lot of the fans are really pulling for Gardner Minshew. But this is going to be a close race between 2 quarterbacks. And honestly, you just got to pick your poison. Who's going to be the quarterback that you're going to want to, go throughout this whole season? Because it's going to be a very, very important season, not only because we're coming off of a high at the end of the year last year, but we're going into a season, AP's very first season as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. It's going to be really, really important. I feel like a lot of Raider Nation, as well as myself, is expecting nothing less than going into the playoffs. And whoever gives us the best chance, I'm with it. Minshew did show a lot of things that I really love seeing from a quarterback, and one of those things is getting out of the pocket. And even when the pressure gets to you, you're able to get the ball out of your hands and find the open target, and that's what he did in this past game. Obviously, he had a nice, beautiful touchdown to DJ Turner in the end zone, but he also had 2 big plays to Trey Tucker on 3rd and long plays, and that's definitely something you want to see in your starting quarterback. As of right now, I am kind of leaning towards the Gardner Minshew boat right now, but I'm not going to rule out Aidan O'Connell. But this week is going to be a pretty big week, especially after hearing this news. The Raiders are going to get their star wide receiver back this week, Davante Adams. If you guys don't already know, Davante took some time off at the end of training camp in Costa Mesa to go to his family. He had his son. His son was born Shout out to him and the family, man. Congratulations. That's a huge blessing right there. But we finally get to see Davante Adams back at training camp and back on the field this week. So we'll probably see a little bit of him with the starting unit, and we'll see whether Aidan O'Connell or Gardner Minshew is going to start. Now, I know that there was an updated depth chart that got released today for the game coming up this weekend. And again, they did not show who the starting quarterback was going to be. It said Aidan O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out when the week starts getting closer to game day. So we'll see what happens then. Now, one former Cowgirl tweeted something about our quarterbacks and the position battle that we got going on right now. He showed a little bit of love to Gardner Minshew, that being Dez Bryant. He tweeted out this tweet. I forgot when he did, but he looks to be on the Gardner Minshew boat as well. Tweeting out, "It will be the Minshew show in Las Vegas. Adams will have 1,500 yards to 1,700 yards with Minshew at quarterback." Ooh-wee. If we're able to have a season like that, especially with Gardner Minshew as a starting quarterback, I mean, I'm sure Raider Nation finna go wild. Now, I feel like that's a little bit too much. I'm not gonna really have my expectations up that high for Gardner Minshew or even Davante Adams. I'm just hoping that he gets over 1,000 yards receiving this season, and we just have a solid season overall. I feel like the bread and butter for this team is gonna be that defensive side of the ball. Hopefully they could, you know, pick up where they left off last season and carry this team. That doesn't mean that I don't want the offense to go out there and ball out, because we do want to see our stars out there, whether it's Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Davante Adams, Jacoby Myers, heck, even DJ Turner or Trey Tucker, man, or Zamir White. I can't forget those Zamir. But if that guy is Gardner Minshew, then hey, I'm all for it. I just like the fact that AP is giving Gardner Minshew a chance for that starting quarterback position. Shit, he might as well with how much we're paying him this season. But with all that aside, you know, Gardner Minshew is a solid quarterback. Everywhere that he's been playing at, he's been a solid quarterback backup option for a lot of those teams, whether it was with Jacksonville, whether it was over there with the Eagles, or even last season with the Indianapolis Colts. He's one of the reasons, or no, he's the main reason why we couldn't go to the playoffs last year. But we got this little ass boy on the team right now, and that's all we can ask for. Now, Gardner Minshew did come out and talk about this quarterback competition, and he did have some interesting things to say, saying, "We're competing for the road to help the Raiders. I've never been on a team where one quarterback plays the whole time. There's going to be an opportunity, and we both have to hang in there and just lead the offense when we're in." And he's absolutely right. You know, may the best person win. It's going to be a battle at the end of the day. But for me, I'm just hoping that we could find the right quarterback, because we didn't really address it throughout the whole offseason. But I want to ask you guys, Raider Nation, with this news coming out, who do you feel like should be the starting quarterback going into week 1? Who do you want? Aidan O'Connell or Gardner Minshew? Let me know down in the comments below. With that being said, Raider Nation, today is Tuesday, and tomorrow most likely is going to be open practice at Allegiant Stadium. For a lot of people that don't know, the Raiders are going to be having an open practice. A lot of the fans are going to be out there. So, I mean, you have to have a ticket to go. But for anybody that's going to be out there, I'm going to be over there. The Oos, a lot of the Raider fans are going to be out there, even some of the super fans. So if you guys see me, come say what's up, take a picture, just have a good time, man. I'm going to be vlogging over there and just, you know, like I said, feeling the vibes out there and hoping that this team can go out there this Sunday, or Saturday, I mean, and ball out. With that being said, until the next video, this is your boy, Some More Raider, and your boy is, yeah.